that kind of cohesiveness helped us maintain what we needed to maintain.
Right. Now you talked about, the first two episodes. I think you talked about maybe the show producers kind of trying to paint a war between, you, Overton, against, the black women on the set. Could you talk about that and the war you had to go through and then fighting back, saying, look, I don't want to portray that image to the world?
Well, it wasn't a war, so to speak. Okay. Basically, they were looking at Overton and Kyle as Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah, they want y'all to dance.
Yeah, and it was not. It got to a point in an episode we had to go, well, no, we don't want to do that anymore. And that's not who these people are. You cannot put two buffoonish men up against four strong women, two buffoonish black men up against four strong black women. You can't do that.
Do you think that was done in just pure ignorance, or was there something behind it?
I think it's ignorance. Again, they were looking at us as Lenny and Squiggy. So you put that stupid stuff on Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah.
So what happened to those type of shows, though? Like Sandman was just talking about, like now everything is like a reality, somebody going at each other's throat, ripping off their wig.
Well, you have Bentley Evans. Bentley Evans is producing sitcoms out of his studios. And they've grown. Where they started and where they are now is like night and day. The directing is great. The acting is good. So, you can still get your sitcoms. Tyler Perry has several shows that are still on. What else? Yeah.
They don't hit the same, though. And there's no disrespect.
I understand. I think the intention is different.
Yeah.
I think the intention, not only from the writers and from producers, but the intention from the cast may be different. We had a really clear intention to create something that we hadn't seen.
Powerful.
Did you guys get any backlash in maybe the imagery? Was there any back and forth on how things should be portrayed throughout your time on Living Single? Kyle Barker came up.
At times. But I am very grateful to have had the opportunity to create something that resonates so strongly in my community.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had that platform had it not been for the show and the people that created that show. So regardless to how, what we went through or what I went through on the show, the work speaks for itself.
Now, the betrayal factor of, somebody from one of the higher ups on the show one day saying they will never get rid of you. Then you talking about like soon thereafter, text or a call saying you got fired. Could you kind of get in, to that whole thing? And did you feel betrayed at that time?
It is what it is. Yeah, did I feel betrayed? Well, absolutely. You don't fire somebody after, that amount of time on the show by a phone call. You don't let that was just kind of, it showed me how disposable they consider actors.
Actors in general or
actors in general, but especially African American actors. Yeah. But actors in general, they look at us as very disposable commodities. Throw one away, there'll be one standing right there to take the part. So they don't really. You're not really a person. You're a commodity. You're an email address. You are. How many likes do you have? How many people are following you? That's what you are. Your talent is tertiary.
So did they ever give you like a formal explanation? Like, all right, this is why we're moving on from you. Wow.
I got the company line. The company line was they had to make changes and they couldn't touch the girls, and Overton and married Sinclair. So I was the logical choice to go.
Man,
it is what it is, dude.
I know it's a long time ago, definitely.
Yeah.
And you moved on, and understandably so.
Absolutely. I mean, luckily, because of the training I got, I could do more than one thing. So when the TV stuff wasn't working, my animation and voiceover stuff picked up. So you can stop that, but you can't stop me.
Now, the living single thing. I want to ask you a question on the back end of that. Mm-hmm. You're talking about, going through the situation and them deciding they didn't need you on the cast anymore. You mentioned being blackballed.
Mm-hmm.
talk about how you were blackballed and who you think was behind making sure you didn't get, blackballing you, I should say.
Well, I mean, when you fire someone like that, you have to make up a reason why you fired them. So they made up the reason why they fired me, and that reason resonated throughout the industry. So when they know you've been fired and powers that be are saying you were fired for these things, even though you didn't do those things, then everybody assumes that that's who you are.
No, there's no recourse, legal recourse.
What could I do?
On the door, yeah, because I get it.
Yeah, what could I do?
I understand.
You said powers that be often. Oh, go on, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, please.
Again, it goes back to us having more control over our images and what we put out. We're still giving everything away.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't have control if we keep giving it away. Somebody else will always have control over the images and what they do.
You seem like I don't want to say a spiritual man, but you seem like a spiritual man. Somebody who's just at peace with himself. And you brought up powers that be a lot. And when we put this interview up, a lot of people are going to attribute powers that be to the Illuminati. Oh, see, the Illuminati, this and that. When you say powers that be, can you enlighten our people on what you mean by that?
I mean the people in control. I mean, where the universe has, excuse me, has your journey going. Some people fight against the journey that they're really supposed to be on. That's why they have so many problems. But if you tune in to what you're here for, then life gets to be a little clearer. Your decisions get to be a little clearer. So, I'm like you said, I am a spiritual person. I pray. I believe in God. I'm not a Christian or Baptist. I believe in God. I know that there's an entity out there bigger than us. And I know there's something else guiding me if I pay attention, So I meditate. I try to laugh as much as I can, exercise, trying to be like y'all.
Oftentimes when we get an actor on the program, we always like to, keep a theme and ask them, because there's been so much debate, articles written, and people that have spoken out about black male actors that will wear a dress or play, a homosexual role, etc. What is your thoughts on that? We had many people that came through and said it's just acting, it's for a check. Then other people say, look, man, this is emasculating, the black male. I shouldn't do it. What do you feel about, black males wearing dresses in Hollywood?
Again, when you have to eat, you have to eat. It's all about what's the reason? What is the character? Because again, you have to understand we're actors. And if you've always been cast as this thug and you get a chance to play something else, you may want to just go try to play something else to stretch. So I look at it like that. Now, I'm not sure what images you're talking about, but I look at all of our stuff like that. And to me, it's like, can you convince me that you're that person? If I see you acting, if I see you playing at it, then I'm gonna be pissed about it. But if you're on your job and that's what you're doing and you do it well, then you do it well.
The collateral damage, how you feel about that? Like, the children that'll see that and think that that's,
Again, why are they watching? If you don't want your kids to see it, then why you letting them watch?
Yeah.
Again, we have to have more control over what our young people ingest. You can't just sit them in front of the TV or give them the computer or give them the phone and tell them to go sit down. If I had kids today, there would be certain things I'd let them watch and certain things I wouldn't let them watch.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be able to talk about everything, though. And I think that's one of the issues why you have this divide, this masculine, feminine, whatever divide between people, because they don't talk to each other. And I think if the Black community if we talk to each other more, we could move forward. We are operating under systems that have been put on us since we got here. And until we start letting that go and really figuring out who we are, we're not going to get what we want to be.